A whodunit mystery is in progress on stage at a local theatre, starring two shady characters. But this is not a plane. These are actual burglars. One of them is even wearing a silly hat to prove it. But they've just put themselves in the spotlight, so they may be about to face the final curtain. In Chorley, Lancashire, there's a unique theatre run by volunteers. Partners Ian and Estelle have been involved with the Chorley Amateur Dramatics and Operatic Society since they were children. Ian is the society's chairman.
Chorley Theatre opened in 1910 and it had a mixture of music hall and cinema. It closed down about 1958. The Amdram Group took it over and we put on amateur dramatic shows as well as films and comedy shows for the town.
Volunteers like Ian and Estelle are the lifeblood of Chorley Little Theatre.
Our theatre is the beating heart of our community. We've built our little world here and I'm very much part of the furniture.
The theatre is funded by ticket sales and bar takings alone, so the volunteers, performers and crew put on as many shows as they can.
We have a new show every 5 or 6 weeks, so there's a lot of teamwork, a lot of activity, a lot of friendliness. You make new friends, and every 5 or 6 weeks it's something new. It's brilliant.
Volunteers like Sue and Jacob happily give up their spare time.
It's been a hub of culture in this town for a very long time. The buzz that this place gets is fantastic.
So it's just a real lovely feeling to be part of it.
But all that spirit and enthusiasm was suddenly downcast recently when the theatre was burgled.
A few months ago we came in to find that the bar had been ransacked.
I'm very protective of the building. I found it very difficult and damaging, what happened.
Unfortunately, we couldn't identify who they were because they'd also taken the CCTV system.
Ian quickly installed new cameras and strengthened the doors, but sadly, that wasn't enough. Soon after, it all happened again. It's the early hours and the volunteers have long left the theatre when a fire door is jemmied open by two men. One of them has the brazen cheek to wear a cap boasting the words, "Crime in progress." He may regret that. They search everywhere, including the dressing rooms, looking for something to steal. This man may think his hat is a clever joke, but he's not so clever. And at one point, the mask slips. Enter two criminals, stage left. The theatre's in-between shows and power tools have been left out by the volunteers building the set for the next production. Ironically, the play's called A Bunch of Amateurs. These two look pretty amateurish, but nonetheless, they gather up the expensive tools. Next, they move on to plunder the bar. Forcing open the shutter, they raid the till and also take some bottles of spirits. They head off through the fire door, taking with them the theatre's vital funds and its tools, leaving behind a trail of destruction. When Ian and Estelle arrive later, they are shattered by what they find.
It was just a really terrible sinking feeling that, God, it's happened again.
It was just really upsetting, just really awful, and just a feeling of, what if they're still there? What if they're still in the building?
Ian checks around and finds the intruders are gone, but so are their power tools. It's not just the loss of the £1,300 worth of equipment, it's also a big problem for their next show.
I thought, this show is in trouble because, you know, we have a tight deadline.
We've got everybody coming down to do this set building.
A few of the crew arrive to start work.
To have all that equipment stolen was just heartbreaking, really.
Ian and Estelle go to check their security camera recording.
We were able to play it back and find immediate evidence of what had happened.
They're pleased that the new cameras have worked, but it's chilling to watch criminals invading their beloved theatre.
It's very scary.
It is like you're being violated in some way.
But the good news is that the cameras have captured the criminals' faces. The police arrive and view the footage.
The police seemed to know who the two fellows were. That's good.
That gave us a lot of hope, and we're like, yeah, okay, we're going to get these guys. So while the police are doing their thing, the show must go on for us.
Over the next few days, the volunteers go into overdrive to make up for lost time. They bring tools from home, and Ian has to dip further into the theatre's depleted funds to buy more equipment.
The show had to go on. All those people had bought tickets in good faith. You know, we had the mayor coming and we couldn't let all those people down.
In the meantime, the police have been busy, and they've made 2 arrests.
It was just relief to knowing that they'd been caught, really.
And I'm glad the footage helped to bring them to justice.
With such strong evidence against them, the 2 men plead guilty. In court, the man in the crime in progress hat was sent to prison for 12 weeks. The other man was given a community order to do 60 hours of unpaid work. And while the curtain came down on these 2 criminals, the curtain went up on the Chorley Theatre Troupe's latest production. The show did go on, and it was a roaring success.
We had over 1,000 people came to watch a bunch of amateurs.
The most wonderful, wonderful food of the soul is a happy audience giving a really good laugh and a really good round of applause at the end. There's nothing like that, and that's real satisfaction.